for giving me this opportunity. So, I am Dr. D. Venkateshwara, Professor of English and Cambridge B2 and C1 trainer. So, my topic on this platform is essential communication skills for engineering students. So, I would like to thank Dr. K. Kiran Kumar sir, Principal of Chalapati Institute of Technology, Guntur, for several years. Just because of his commitment towards the institution, it raised certain standards. So definitely the honor goes to Dr. Kiran Kumar sir, providing opportunity for the students on communication skills, soft skills apart from technical skills. And Dr. V. Venkat Subbarao sir, Professor and HOD for Basic Sciences and Humanities. Sir previously contacted me and asked me take a session on communication skills. Immediately I said, yes, sir, definitely it is required. It is not about giving presentation on so and so. It is not about teaching. Just it is a sharing platform for an engineering graduate. Why communication is important? How communication became a skill? So if students show their faces to me, I begin the session with question and the session with question. Why? Because any knowledge, any skill, any information begins with questioning itself. So questioning is very, very important. So beginning, just I would like to interact one or two students, or I ask you a question, simple question. Any student give the apt reply. Communications skill, communication skills. So what is the difference between knowledge and skill? Do you give me brief description? This is knowledge, this is skill. What is the basic difference between knowledge and skill? Anybody will tell? Any student, give your reply. What is knowledge? What is skill? What is the basic difference between knowledge and skill?
Actually, it is muted, sir. Please continue, sir.
Okay, right. So knowledge means information is called knowledge. Any information is called knowledge. Skill means application of knowledge is called skill. So our subjects are knowledge-based subjects. Generally, academics is about knowledge-based, not skill-based. Why? Because students memorize, students learn, students write the exams and get merit certificates or certificates. Percentages of marks are important. They are all related to knowledge-based. But what is a skill? Skill is different from knowledge. Application is called skill. Generally in academics, most of the times, knowledge focused English language teaching instead of skill-based language teaching. That's why there is a huge demand on communication skills. Now everybody wants communication skills, communication skills. From first year student to BTech student to final year BTech student, the biggest problem is communication skill. So generally students start their career or their academics from LKG. LKG, UKG 2 years, first class to 10th class, 10 plus 2, 12 years, intermediate 2 years, 14 years. Again BTech first year, 15 years. After 15 years, if a question is asked, what is your problem? Sir, C language is not my problem, or technology is not my problem. My problem is only communication skill. But knowingly or unknowingly, you learned English for 15 years. All of a sudden, you say that I am not good at communication, but I am good at subject. That is the difference between knowledge and skill. What you acquire, that is called knowledge. What you exhibit, that is called a skill. So communication skills means generally in academics is about listening and writing, listening and reading. Generally students read some concepts, memorize some concepts, write down the examinations. Students listen to the teachers, morning to evening, they listen to the teachers, but they never get an opportunity to expose themselves to the outer world. They never interact with others. When a question is asked, the people are struggling to answer it. If I say wrong, people comment me. If I say wrong, people criticize me. Why should I take risk? So this is the biggest problem. Communication is just come out of your comfort zone is called communication skill. First thing. Come out of your comfort zone. If you stay in your comfort zone, just you cannot communicate effectively. So first come out of your comfort zone. What is comfort zone? So you fix it some certain rules, regulations. That is called comfort zone. When a question is asked to the student, do you answer this question? No, sir, I can't. So if you ask the student, do you memorize it? Yes, sir, I do it. Do you write the exam? Yes, sir, I do it. These are called passive skills. Dear students, there are 4 language skills. One is listening, second is speaking, third is reading, fourth is writing. LSRW skills. Listening, speaking, reading, writing. So what is listening? What is reading? Or what is writing? What is listening? What is speaking? What is reading? What is writing? These 4 skills are very, very important for communication point of view. Any language, not only English, even Telugu or Urdu or Hindi or any other language, when you go for Chinese or Japanese, a language is having these parameters, these structure. This is the structure of any language. Listening is there, speaking is there, reading is there, writing is there. For any language, 4 skills are there. Among those 4 skills, 2 are active skills, 2 are passive skills. What are active skills? Speaking and writing is, these 2 are called active skills. Speaking and writing, active skills. Listening and reading, passive skills. Listening and reading. So your entire academics, LKG to BTech 3rd year, up to BTech 2nd year, BTech 1st year, just we exposed to only passive skills, listening to the teachers and read the books and write the examinations. All of a sudden, you are asked to go for a different stage, different platform. When you go for interview, any interview, immediately employer asks you, so write an essay on this particular topic. So show me your marks. They don't ask you like this. Immediately, whenever you enter into the interview hall, the employer asks you, introduce yourself. Say something about this. Just there, your oral requirement is more and more. There you are asked to express yourself orally instead of writing. But you thought that, sir, always I listened to the teachers from LKG to intermediate and I wrote the examinations, but I never speak in front of the people. All of a sudden, you are asking me to speak about how can I speak? This is the biggest problem for every graduate student. So why communication skill is difficult? Why communication is difficult for the learners? Because they never exposed to the communication active a skill. They exposed to only passive skill. Passive skills are very easy to hear, to listen, and to forget. And it is easy. Your involvement is zero, except hearing. While reading also, it is easy for you to read something. So you are passive. Suppose you are asked to write a paragraph on it, write a story on it, then you become a difficult person. Then you think that, okay, there I need. When you write a paragraph, you become active. When you speak something, you become active. So what are 2 passive skills? What are 2 active skills? Listening and reading are passive skills. Speaking and writing are active skills. Isn't it? This is the beginning of this session. So after completion of my presentation, I asked some questions or review about the students. At the end, Subbarao sir just gives accessing to some of the students for their opinions or for their queries or for their summary. So what did they understand by this presentation?
Sure,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Okay,
Sure, sir.
Thank you very much. Now, do you understand the basic concept of communication skill? Isn't it? There are 4 skills. One is listening, second is speaking, third is reading, fourth is writing skill. So listening and reading, these 2 are called passive skills, and speaking and writing 2 are called active skills. So this is very, very important point you should understand as a student, as a learner. Next point, very important thing is communication skill. What is communication? Communication is a word derived from Latin word, Latin derivative. Communicate means to share your idea, to share your thought, to share your feeling, to share your information is called communication. Communication is not English word. It is a Latin word, Latin derivative. most of the English words are derived from Latin, Greek, French, Italian, Scandinavian, Asian languages, isn't it? So 70 to 80% of English words are not English words, derived from other languages. That's why English vocabulary became 20 lakh word vocabulary. 20 lakh vocabulary is the English vocabulary. A huge stock of words are there. So communicate is a Latin word which means to share your information, your idea, your thought. It is called communication. Communication skill. So I already told you there are 4 skills. Any language has having 4 skills. So you get a doubt, sir, I am good at speaking Telugu. I speak Telugu fluently without any hesitation. So why can't I speak English fluently without a hesitation? Where the problem is? Because you are active in speaking your mother tongue, but you are passive in speaking in English language. That is the difference. If you stop, somebody raised the hand, sir. Okay, next.
Sir, please continue.
Okay, isn't it? Listening is passive and reading is passive, and speaking is active and writing is also active. So I go for LSW skills: listening skill and speaking skill, reading skill, writing skill. So you get a doubt, sir, I am speaking Telugu. I can speak Telugu very well. No, you are not speaking Telugu. Even though your mother tongue is Telugu, you are not speaking Telugu. You are conversing Telugu. Your conversation, just conversation, you are doing it. You are not speaking on a particular topic. Speech is different, conversation is different. If you stay in that environment, you converse that language automatically. Speaking means to focus on words, to focus on structure, to focus on meaning. That is called speech. So here, listening skill, listening techniques, and speaking techniques, reading techniques, writing techniques. There are 4 techniques I will tell you. Or 3 points from each and every branch of language, definitely your communication will be more and more effective. So first thing, first to understand, then to be understood. Stephen R. Covey wrote a book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Out of 7 habits, the best habit is communication. He said communication. He did not say communication means speaking language. He said communication means listening. Listening is communication. He said, what is the best in communication? Suppose you want to communicate effectively to others, what do? First, try to listen to others effectively. Listening is an art. Listening means attentive listening is very important. Generally, we hear to the people. Hear to the people means it is a physical activity. It goes to the head. Listening means it goes to the mind. So first to understand, then to be understood. First, try to understand other person, what the person is speaking about. If you respond to the person, that is called communication. So hear with your ears, listen with your mind. As I told you, difference between hearing and listening. What is hearing? What is listening? What is hear? What is listen? Hear means just with your ears you can hear. And listen means with mind. Apart from your ears, your mind is also involved in listening activity. This is second point. Third point, listening is an intellectual linguistic activity. It is an intellectual activity, listening. So while listening, just it is like recording. God has given us opportunity to record the entire data from others. But unfortunately, unknowingly, we are not willing to listen to others. We are not focused on listening to others. Number 4, listen attentively to others, what they are speaking about. Suppose somebody is speaking to you, just listen to that person very attentively, what the person is speaking about. What is it? What is it about? So what is his content? What is his concept? Just you think about that particular thing. That is called listening. Listening skills analyze the subject information as well as the speaker's attitude. Listening doesn't mean that just judging the people, judging the speaker. Generally, when somebody is speaking to you, just you judge the speaker, how the speaker is speaking, whether the content is correct, this is correct, that is correct. whatever it may be, just you ignore those things. Try to listen to the speaker, what the speaker is speaking about, what is the topic, what is the content. Most of your knowledge, most of information comes from teachers only, comes from listening only. That's why teachers listening, if you listen to the teachers, automatically your mind power will be improved. You don't need to read much and much. If you are capable to listen to the teachers attentively in the class, you don't need to work on it much and much. That is the power of listening. Don't find fault with the speaker, but understand the meaning of the subject. Try to understand the subject. Your aim is to understand the concept. What is the concept? What is the content? Content is very, very important. Dear students, post-COVID has brought some changes in our life. First thing is content. Proper content is very important. Second is communication. Presentation of content is called communication. How do you present your content? That is called communication. Communication means speaking English is not communication. Speaking Telugu is not communication. Speaking any language is not communication. Presentation of content is called communication. Third is about commitment. Commitment to listen, to understand, or to read, to understand. So it leads to proper speaking and proper writing skills, active skills. Avoid confusions, contradictions in the speech. Don't confuse, don't be confused. Almost best speeches are very simple, very clear, very fluent, very effective. Not ambiguous, not confusing. So very simple. Everybody knows, everybody listen to Abdul Kalam, the great man, great teacher, great spokesperson. So even he gave a presentation in UN, the entire United Nations stood up and gave him applause because of his speech. He spoke in Tamil accent. He spoke ordinary words, simple words. Even a school-going child can understand those words. But his content is very, very effective. Touches the heart of the millions of the people or the entire world. So try to focus on good words and present it in a clear and concise manner and a correct manner. That is very, very important. Then only listener listen to it. If you keep on focusing on listening, automatically you can understand what the speaker is speaking about. Number 8, point 8. Summarize the message at the end of the speech. So whenever you listen to the speaker, after completion of the speech, suppose speaker speaks to you 20 minutes or 30 minutes. Suppose you attend a seminar, you attend a conference. Now you are attending this program. After completion of the program, if I ask you a question, what did you understand by it? You said that, sir, only one or two you are ready to speak. Why? Because you are not fully focused on the content. You are not fully focused on the content. Just you are distracting yourself. Why? Because you are looking at the fan, you are looking at the ceiling, you are looking at this person, you are looking at that person, or you are doing something else. You are not focused on the speaker. Not only here, anywhere. If you keep on focusing on the speaker, if you keep on focusing on the information, automatically just you get the gist or the essence or the summary of the speech. So it is called summarize. At the end, you summarize yourself. These are the main points of the speaker. Once a teacher teaches, once a speaker speaks, at the end, if you pick up at least 4 or 5 sentences of your own from the speaker's mind and write down in your diary or in your notebook, if you memorize 1 or 2 times, definitely just you will become in a different position. It is called point making or note making activity. Every time you have to analyze those things in your own words. That is called listening skill. These are 9 points are very, very important in listening. Try to understand these listening points. Again, I read one more time these points. If you find out, if you follow at least 2 or 3 points perfectly, your listening power will be more and more effective. Definitely, you can concentrate more and more on it and you listen more and more. Definitely, your communication will be more apt and accurate. So, point number 1, first to understand, then to be understood. Listening means listen to the speaker very attentively. Number 2, hear with your ears and listen with your mind. Hear with your ears. It is for head. Listen with your mind. When you hear, mind is locked. When you listen, mind is open. That is the difference between hearing and listening. Number three, listening is an intellectual and linguistic activity. When you listen to a person, the speaker, whether he is a scientist, is a technician, he is any poet or any other person, definitely that person is having so much of experience in that field, so much of knowledge is in that field. That's why your aim is to pick up that information out of that person. You cannot do all the courses. Suppose you are a computer graduate, you cannot do all the courses except computers. That's why whatever speaker speaks, you try to pick up very important information or essence of the information and keep it in your mind and try to develop a positive attitude towards the speaker. Number three. Number four, listen attentively to those what they are speaking about. Listen attentively. Listen very carefully to the speaker, what the speaker is speaking about. You should fully concentrate, your complete body, 100 out of 100%, your concentration should be on the speaker only. Not the face of the speaker, not the body of the speaker, but the body language of the speaker and the voice of the speaker, modulation of the speaker, and the content of the speaker. These are very, very important things. Next, listening skills analyze the subject information as well as the speaker's attitude. Number six, don't find fault with the speaker, but try to understand the meaning of the subject. Number seven, avoid confusions, contradictions in the speech. Well, when speaker is speaking, don't interrupt in the middle. At the end, you raise your questions or queries. That is better. Number eight, summarize the message at the end of the speech. After completion of the speech, just you pick up your own points out of the speaker. So what did I learn today? What did I identify this from this speech? That is your own. Number nine, try to rewind the information in your own voice. If possible, try to speak to yourself and try to present yourself to the mirror or to any other person or discuss with the same way as you watched movies. When you go to movie, once you come out of a movie, you speak about the movie. Like the same way, once the speech is completed, you have to discuss with your friend and try to memorize the concept. It is about listening skill. Number two, second part, the speaking techniques. First one is listening techniques. Second one is speaking techniques. As I told you, listening is a passive activity. You don't need much concentration on listening. You sit somewhere and listen to it and hear to it. Anybody can listen, anybody can hear. But this is called active skill. Speaking is called active skill. Number one, think in English before you speak. It is very, very important, dear students. As an engineering graduate, don't think in your mother tongue and try to translate it into English language. So don't think in English, never try to translate in Telugu. Suppose I ask you a question, you are trying to answer in English. First you think in Telugu and translate it into English, and later you give on a reply to the speaker. That is a wrong concept. Bilingual method is always dangerous. Never try to translate one language to another language. Suppose you want to learn Chinese language, don't learn Chinese language through Telugu language or English language. Learn Chinese language alphabet itself from Chinese only. Then only you get command over that language. Never translate your ideas from English to Telugu, Telugu to English. It is the hurdle of your communication. Suppose you want to enhance your communication skill, first thing and first and foremost thing is think in English before you speak. If your thinking is in English, automatically your speech is also very effective, very fluent. Number two, speak confidently, freely and fluently. Freely and fluently. The way water flows. Just everybody observe water. Water flows in a just careless manner, without any just idea. Just keep on going, keep on moving. So like colorless, shapeless, just you become a water. When you speak, when you start speaking to others, just try to imagine water, how water flows. So colorless, just very reckless it moves. The same way you have to improve your speaking skill. Number three, speak word endings very clearly. Generally, this is the problem with the people. While speaking in English language, don't try to avoid the word endings. Word endings should be clearly pronounced. So generally, people swallow some word endings. So speaker cannot understand them, or your listener cannot understand them. Try to speak word endings very clearly. Word endings are very, very important. That's why don't swallow or don't cut the word endings. Try to speak word endings very clearly, very correctly, and speak it loud. Speak not too slow or too fast. Don't speak too slow. Don't speak too fast. Generally, native people speak too fast. It is their conversation. They use language for conversation point of view. But we use language for a purpose, for communication point of view. Native language is only for conversation, like our mother tongue. Telugu is only for conversation. But in our career, we are not using Telugu. We are using English language. The way you speak Telugu is different the way you speak English. When you speak Telugu, you speak just whatever you want to say. But while speaking English, you have to organize the language. Why? Because it is for a purpose for your career, isn't it? That's why speak not too slow or not too fast. A medium tempo or in between. Just you have to pick up. This is the pitch. This is the tone. This is the fluency of my language. Just you fix yourself. Not too slow, not too fast. Number 5. Speak to express, not to impress. Very, very important point. This is speak to express, not to impress. Generally, people speak to impress others. That's why after completion of the speech, just they ask how my presentation is. It is about impression. Express means content should be there. In expression, content is there. If you have a clear content and correct content and presentation of your content is correct, automatically that is very, very useful and helpful to the students for their career point of view. But impressing the students, many motivational speakers are there. They come and say that Thomas Alva Edison failed 10,000 times and at last he became successful. But how many Edisons are there in our country? Not possible. These are to impress the people. There are two types of speeches. One is to impress the people, and the second is to express to the people. Express to the people means content is there. If you have a strong content, try to express it instead of impress it. So speak to express, not to impress. It is main point. Speak for a cause, not for time pass. Don't speak for time pass activities. Speak for a cause. Speak for a purpose. The purpose is to communicate. The purpose is to express. The purpose is to exchange ideas, thoughts, or feelings. Isn't it? No exaggeration, no slang in your speech. No exaggeration. Don't exaggerate the thoughts. Why? Because if your ideas are clear, if your ideas are precise, if your ideas are correct, try to express them in a clear manner. Don't exaggerate. Don't add so much of flavor to it. Speak it in a clear and concise manner. No slang in your speech. Generally, people use slang in their speech. Don't use slang. So Americans have their own slang. Africans have their own slang. Even English people have their own slang. But educated people never use slang. In Telangana and Andhra also, people have different kinds of slangs. But most of the times, Krishna and Guntur, those educated people use correct language, Telugu language. They speak language very clearly, correctly. They never use any kind of slang. Why? Because that's why it is the standard format of Telugu language. Speak Telugu very clearly, correctly. The same way English is also. Speak English very clearly, correctly. Don't use slang. Don't try to imitate native people. Many students do this kind of problem. Even IELTS examination, TOEFL examination, they don't ask you to imitate Americans or English people. Just you try to understand that Americans are English people, but your aim is to express in your own voice. Your own voice should be appreciated, accepted, isn't it? So speak for a cause, not for time pass. No exaggeration, no slang in your speech. Number 8, too dominating or too politeness is not good in speech. Too dominating. Don't dominate too much or not so much of politeness. While speaking to others, while giving your presentation, while giving your seminar in second year, third year, when you go for third year and fourth year, you need to give your project presentations. Don't give so much of politeness. Don't dominate too much. Just in a clear and concise manner. Number 9, listen thrice before you speak. Very, very important. This last point is, if you want to speak anything, listen to the speaker 3 times. Just you speak only 1 time. But unfortunately, we speak 3 times, but we listen to 1 time. That is the problem with our people. We are not willing to listen to the people. We are willing to speak to the people. So that is not good. Try to listen thrice, 3 times, and speak only once. That is the best speak. If you listen much and much, you can understand more and more things. Then you speak very clearly. Now, I sum up this speaking technique part. Number 1, think in English before you speak. Number 2, speak confidently, freely, and fluently. Number 3, speak word endings very clearly. Number 4, speak not too slow or too fast. Number 5, speak to express, not to impress. Number 6, speak for a cause, not for time pass. Number 7, no exaggeration, no slang in your speech. Number 8, too dominating or too politeness is not good in speech. Number 9, listen thrice before you speak. This is about listening, speaking. So now listening and speaking parts, 2 parts completed. Now I go for reading skills. Listening and speaking, these 2 are called oral activity, oral presentations. So reading and writing, these 2 are called writing skills. Generally, listening and speaking 2 are called speaking skills. So listen and speak. It is speaking track. Read and write. These 2 are called a writing part. So listen, speak, read, write. So reading skills. So reading makes a man perfect. So you should cultivate to read more. So generally students read only textbooks instead of general books. Try to cultivate to read at least fiction books or non-fiction books. Personal development books, self-help books are available in the market. Try to read at least 1 or 2 books for semester. If you cultivate the habit of reading semester 1 book of fiction or non-fiction, a novel or a drama or a poetry, or like personal development books, like 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Think and Grow Rich. And these are the books, important books, or Dale Carnegie's books. If you read any book that improves your mind, that improves your thought a lot. So reading makes a man perfect, so you should cultivate to read more. Read for the meaning and essence, but not for the beauty. Read for the meaning. What is the meaning in that novel? What is the meaning in that book? So if you read one novel, it changes your way of thinking. If you read one non-fiction books, like self-help books, personal development books, they change your attitude, they change your lifestyle. That's why cultivate to read at least semester 1 book. Automatically, your attitude, your ideology, so your career will be in a different position. Read 2 or 3 words at a glance instead of single words at a time. That is the very important thing. It is also. Generally, we read word to word. Why? Because words are divided in printer. So we read the same thing. We read word to word. For example, Chalapati instead of technology. Generally, you read Chalapati 1 time, instead 2nd time, technology 3rd time. Actually, you read it only 1 time. It is called a chunk. Chalapati instead of technology. That is at least 1 time also it is possible to pronounce it, to speak out, to read it out. But we cannot read it. Why? Because words are divided. There is a gap between word to word. We think that the gap should be given gap, oral gap, not necessary. Just try to pick up 2 or 3 words at a time instead of single word. Don't read word to word. Try to focus on 2 words, 3 words, 4 words, 5 words at a time. That improves your reading speed. Identify the main point in each and every paragraph. Generally, any novel or any book or any story or any comprehension is divided into paragraphs. each and every paragraph is having main point. Try to read a paragraph and identify what is the main point, what is the key point in this paragraph, and what is the beginning sentence and what is the ending sentence of the paragraph. If you concentrate on key points for each and every paragraph, and your key points are your just are your review or your idea, just that is enough for you. You don't need to memorize the entire book. You need to collect some points from each and every paragraph. If you cultivate these kind of habits, automatically your reading speed, your memory, your knowledge will be improved a lot. After reading each chapter, summarize it and identify the main idea in it. After reading each paragraph, summarize it. What is it? What is it about? What is this paragraph is about? And what the writer wants to speak about this paragraph. It is a very, very important thing. After reading each chapter, summarize it and identify the main idea in it. Read widely or read widely. Read extensively if it is possible. Read weekly or monthly a book, but not too many. Read one book for a month. Read at least one book for 2 months. If not possible, at least read one book for 6 months. That changes you a lot. Read fiction and non-fiction to improve your thoughts and creativity. So already I told you, read fiction and non-fiction. Fiction means novels. So non-fiction means like personal development books. If you read non-fiction or fiction, it improves your thought process. Most of the times, students don't have soft skills. Why? Because their focus is only on mathematics and physics, chemistry, technology. But these are not enough. Your technical skills are not enough. Your scientific skills are not enough. Technology wise, you are very good. But soft skills wise, just you are not up to the mark. Why? Because your creative skills are not upgraded. So to develop your creative skills, you have to develop your reading habit. Read intensively and extensively. Read intensively means read word to word or sentence to sentence, paragraph wise. Read extensively. Extensively means like novels or poems or whatever you want to read. Read through skimming and scanning process. Skimming means just search for the important information. So scanning is about what you are searching for. This is called scanning. So these are about reading skills and the skills, techniques of reading skills. I sum it up one more time. So reading skills, number one, reading makes a man perfect. So you should cultivate to read more. Number two, read for the meaning and essence, but not for the beauty. Number three, read 2 or 3 words at a glance instead of single words at a time. Number four, identify the main point in each and every paragraph. Number five, after reading each chapter, summarize it and identify the main idea in it. Number six, read weekly or monthly a book, but not too many. Number seven, read fiction and non-fiction to improve your thoughts and creativity. Number eight, read intensively and extensively. Number nine, read through skimming and scanning process. So this is about reading skills. So last part is about writing skills. So just I give you each and every a skill, some techniques. Later, just if you have any queries, just to interact. Last one is about writing skill. Already I told you, listening skills, speaking skills are uh, listening skill and speaking skill is one group, and reading skill and writing skill is second group. So listening and speaking for oral speaking, reading and writing for effective writing skill. Last one, writing. Writing is the most difficult than reading, listening, speaking skill. Writing is very difficult, not easy. As we say, writing is easy, not easy. Writing requires much information, much skill, much creativity, much knowledge, much patience is required. Writing is a permanent document in the past, present, and future. It is permanent. Once it is written, it is permanent. So once you speak, it is not permanent. But once you write, it is permanent. That's why already I told you, listening and reading are passive skills, and speaking and writing are active skills. If you speak, you cannot recollect it unless it is recorded. If you write, you can recollect it after 1 month, 1 year, 10 years, or 100 years also. Now it is okay, sir? Now okay, sir?
Okay, sir. Please continue, sir.
Okay, okay. Thank you. So Wi-Fi is disconnected, sir, just now. That's why it is. Okay, thank you. So writing demands spelling, punctuation, structure of the language. So while writing, spelling is important, punctuation marks are important, proper word selection is important, structure of the language is important, meaning of the language is important. Writing demands the knowledge of contemporary society of the writer. So a contemporary society of the writer, contemporary society information is also important for writing, good writing. Writing is preserved forever and it is the boon of mortals. Still, we are reading lithographies. Lithography means lithos is the Latin word which means stone. Graph means it is a Greek word which means writing. So ancients wrote on stones. Now it is available. It means that writing is a permanent document. Once you write, once you cultivate the writing habit, it is permanent for generations. Shakespeare wrote centuries before. Still, we are reading Shakespeare, isn't it? Writing is preserved forever and it is the boon of mortals. Don't write all gossips, but something interesting and useful to some other. Don't write all gossip things. Diary writing like morning I wake up, after again I had breakfast, I did lunch. So it is just a time pass, no use. Write for a purpose. So pick up any information which is useful to you as well as to others. Then you have to write down those things. Put down only relevant and important information. Don't write all useless chart. Put down only important information and useful information. At least write a quotation daily in your diary. At least write down one quotation in your diary. If you write down one quotation in your diary, just it changes you a lot. If you collect one quotation and write down in your diary, and it improves your thought process. So these are the things of writing skills. So again, I sum it up one more time. Writing techniques. Writing is difficult than reading, listening, and speaking. Writing is a permanent document in the past, present, and future. Writing requires good vocabulary and command over the language very well. Writing demands spelling, punctuation, structure of the language. Writing demands the knowledge of the contemporary society and the writer. Writing is preserved forever and it is the boon of mortals. Don't write all gossips, but something interesting and useful to some other. Put down only relevant and important information. At least write a quotation daily in your diary. So this is called writing skills. These are 4 language skills, isn't it? I think, do you understand better after this? If you have any doubts, any queries, before that, I sum it up one more time. So one by one. So as a reading process, first one, there are 4 skills in language. One is listening skill. Second is speaking skill. Third is reading skill. Fourth is writing skill. Listening skill. Points wise, just I read it out orally. Number 1, first to understand, then to be understood. Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen R. Covey's fifth habit. Number 2, hear with your ears, listen with your mind. Number 3, listening is an intellectual and linguistic activity. Number 4, listen attentively to others, what they are speaking about. Number 5, listening skills analyze subject information as well as the speaker's attitude. Number 6, don't find fault with the speaker, but try to understand the meaning of the subject. Number 7, avoid confusions, contradictions in the speech. Number 8, summarize the message at the end of the speech. Number 9, try to remind the information in your own voice. Speaking skill. Second, techniques, 9 techniques for speaking, effective speaking. Number 1, think in English before you speak. Number 2, speak confidently, freely, and fluently. Number 3, speak word endings very clearly. Number 4, speak not too slow or not too fast. Number 5, speak to express, not to impress. Number 6, speak for your cause, not for time pass. Number 7, no exaggeration, no slang in your speech. Number 8, too dominate or too politeness is not good in speech. Number 9, listen thrice before you speak. Reading skills. Again, 9 techniques for reading skills, effective reading skills. Number 1, reading makes a man perfect. So you should cultivate to read more. Number 2, read for the meaning and essence, but not for the beauty. Number 3, read 2 or 3 words at a glance instead of a single word at a time. Number 4, identify the main point in each and every paragraph. Number 5, after reading each chapter, summarize it and identify the main idea in it. Number 6, read weekly or monthly a book, but not too many. Number 7, read fiction, non-fiction to improve your thoughts and creativity. Number 8, read intensively and extensively. Number 9, read through skimming and scanning process. Last one, writing skills. Again, 9 techniques for writing skills to write effectively. Number 1, writing is the difficult than reading, listening, speaking skill. Number 2, writing is a permanent document in the past, present, and future. Number 3, writing requires good vocabulary and command over the language very well. Number 4, writing demands spelling, punctuation, structure of the language. Number 5, writing demands the knowledge of contemporary society and the writing. Number 6, writing is preserved forever and it is the boon of mortals. Number 7, don't write all gossips but something interesting and useful to some other. Number 8, put down only relevant and important information. Number 9, at least write a quotation daily in your diary. So these are called 9 techniques. These are writing techniques. There are 9 techniques for listening, 9 techniques for speaking, 9 techniques for reading, 9 techniques for writing. If you follow at least few techniques for listening, speaking, reading, writing, definitely there will be a huge difference in your communication. Communication doesn't mean that speaking English. Speaking is one part. So there are 4 parts are there in language. One is listening, second is speaking, third is reading, fourth is writing. So among these 4 branches, listening and reading are passive skills and speaking and writing are active skills. You need to focus more and more on speaking and writing. The speaking and writing, these 2 are called verbal communication or oral communication and written communication skills. Thank you so much, dear students and faculty members. If you have any queries, any questions, raise it, any discussion, go for it. If any questions, ask me. Thank you. This is my presentation on communication skills.
Okay, thank you, sir. DVR, sir.
Thank you, sir. So if anybody have any questions, any introduction, just ask them. Even faculty or students, whatever it may be.
Sir, you have given wonderful lecture on communication
sir.
skills, sir.
Thank you,
All
sir.
all first years are under basic sciences and humanities department, sir.
Okay, good.
So all are participated in Zoom and YouTube link, sir.
Very good, sir.
I will send you the feedback, sir.
Sure, sir. Sir, one more thing, sir. The thing is just it is like a exchanging of ideas. It is very good platform, sir. As you provided, especially your principal management and your principal, sir, the way they show interest in communication. Because if no communication means we cannot survive in the present day world, sir. Anybody needs communication. Communication means not only speaking the language, exposing in different areas, isn't it? Content, focus on content, especially COVID. COVID brought so many changes in our lives, sir. Before COVID, world was different. Post COVID, world is completely different. So it is challenging us. So during COVID time, also teachers suffered a lot during due to this communication. They thought that I am a computer faculty, I am EC faculty. Why should I speak English? I am mathematics faculty. During a 2-year COVID time, everybody need to speak in English. At that time, they realized,
Yes,
okay, English is very important. Isn't it, sir?
Yes, sir.
So, any more, sir? Any faculty? How many faculty are there, sir? English faculty?
We have 4 faculty up there.
So, if anybody have any exchange of ideas, just interact with me, or students, or anything.
Okay, sure, sir.
Hmm.
Thank you for your informative session, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Definitely our students will benefit it
Okay.
by your
So,
informative
sir,
talk.
one more, sir. I forward this PPT, already forward this PPT to you, sir. If students
Yes, sir.
ask you, just forward to them and ask them at least to follow some of the principles instead of reading it. At least practice. When they practice only, they will be benefited, sir.
Yes, sir.
Especially active skills, speaking and writing.
Okay, sir. Thank you,
Thank you,
sir. Thank you for sparing your valuable time with us, sir.
Thank you.
I will
One
end
more
the
time,
meeting.
I say thank to the management of Chalapati Engineering College, as well as principal sir and HOD Venkat Subbarao sir, and the English faculty members, other HNDS faculty members, and all students. Students, you will have a good future, bright future. All the best to you. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I will end the meeting, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you all.